If you're trying to move off slowly, what you want to do is just bring the clutch just to the biting point and hold it still. Now you maybe even dip it down a bit as well, just slow like that way you don't go too fast. So I'm just going to come out smoothly, bring my clutch to the biting point, hold it for a bit, and then smoothly release it. And as I got into this road, I know it's a national speed road, but I can see there's a sign for a roundabout coming up, so I'm not going to go too fast. And I want to go to the left first exit because that's where the sign for the M1 is. It's underneath the left side, yeah. So I'm going to check my mirrors, signal left, get into second, and I can check from early, position myself all the way to the left side. That guy's indicating to go right. Hopefully he goes that way, and he does. He's going quite fast. Just wants to keep an eye on him to make sure that he's going where he's saying he's going. So I haven't seen any other signs saying otherwise, so still national speed here. And I can position my foot just on the left here. I don't have to have it on the clutch the whole time, especially if it's a long stretch of road like this where I don't have to change gears continuously. I can keep my foot on the side. So the speed has changed to national, but it's a roundabout coming up, so I'm going to start braking. So that's what you want to do. Don't see a speed limit that's going higher and think, yeah, I'm going to go much faster now. Look what's happening ahead of you. Like here, it's a roundabout, so it wouldn't have made sense to start speeding up too fast as I approach this roundabout. And then coming off, check my mirrors and signal left. I'm going to check this mirror as well because there are two lanes coming off. Just want to make sure I know who's coming off with me. And it's still national speed, so I'm going to put lots of gas down because it's nice and clear. And then change it to third. More gas again. You see I'm building up more speed in the low gears and then I'm changing. So right now I was doing up to like nearly 50 miles an hour in third because this car can handle that. And then now I'm at 55. I get into fifth gear. Roundabout, turning right third exit. So I'm going to position myself to the right nice and early. Bringing my speed down, and then I'm going to signal again. So you notice I was braking for a very long time there. Now I've got my car in second gear. I was going to bring the clutch up and keep moving, but then I saw those cars coming, so I put my clutch down to stop. But if those cars weren't coming towards me, or that car wasn't coming towards me, I would have kept my clutch up and joined the roundabout. Checking both sides, signal left now to come off, positioning towards the left, and off I go. Already you can see people in the distance braking. That usually gives you an indicator that something's coming up there, gives you a clue that something is coming up that you need to slow down for. And in this case it's a roundabout, so I'm just slowing down from early, checking the right side from early as well. There's no one else there, just double checking again, and then signal left to come off. So notice each time I'm checking, double checking, triple checking even, yeah. And all the time looking early. I don't know where I'm going right now, I'm just following the sign, so I can see the sign for M1. There's straight second exit because I'm not familiar with this area. I'm just looking at the signs nice and early as I can, and then see how long I'm braking for. So now I can bring my clutch up because I can see there's nothing coming from the side, and then I can keep going, signal left. So you notice I gear down to second as I'm approaching in the roundabout, and then my clutch was up before I got onto the roundabout, yeah. So lots of signs, warning signs for a roundabout coming up, with a little message underneath it saying reduce speed now. Just going to start easing off the gas. I can see the roundabout there saying straight second exit for where I want to go to. So I'll start braking nice and early again. So remember, you want to get your car into second gear and then bring the clutch up smoothly, and then keep checking if it's clear. Like it's not clear, there's a car coming, then I can go into first and go. You see, that's why you want to double check, because I thought it was clear, but then when I looked again there was a car coming towards me, which is why I had to put my clutch down and brake and get into first gear. Okay, Okay, so as I approach this roundabout, I can see there's M1. I want M1 south, so that's going to be to the right. So I need to be in the right lane. So as you're approaching these kind of roundabouts, make sure you know which part of the motorway you're going to go to, because sometimes they've got south and north. So make sure you read the whole thing properly and get into the correct lane. Yeah. So I'll get into second again, but it looks quite busy up there, so I will go into first and wait for a nice gap. So those cars are coming quite fast. Remember, I want to go all the way to the far right lane, so I want to make sure it's all clear before I join it. And these lights look like they're part-time signals, it says on the sign there. So right now they're off. And then as I'm coming off now, check my mirror signal left. Just confirm that's going the right way. And it's still national speed. And then I'm off. So it is national speed and it's 70 right now because there's a grass verge, basically a barrier between us that are going this way and the traffic going that way. So that's how I know this is a 70-mile-an-hour road, because this is a dual carriageway, because it's got two sides separated by a barrier. Sign for straight second exit. You notice how long everyone was braking for, including myself, and then getting into second, but I can see a nice gap there, so I can get in second, bring my clutch up. Watch out for this car as well, make sure he goes out of the way, so I don't want to rush into the roundabout while he's still in the way, and then that way it can be done safely. Getting into second, checking the right, making sure I keep in my lane here. I'm keeping to the left. A mistake a lot of learners make is they get into the roundabout, they go straight into the right, which is wrong, because obviously there's cars on the right that will need that space. So you want to make sure that you go around on your lane, okay? So we're approaching another roundabout and I can see the sign for it. And I can also see the arrows for the sharp turn arrows, which is the same for the other roundabout as well. So I'm not going to bother overtaking this lorry because I can see that straight second exit. So it doesn't make sense me trying to overtake him now, because I want to be in the left lane to do this. I may overtake him after the roundabout, but again I'm slowing down and I'm keeping an eye on him as well to see where he's going. I can see the left lane is only for turning left, even though it's quite faint, so I'm just using this lane here, checking the right. But once I get to like here, I can use the left lane now, because those guys that are on the left should have gone that way. Then now I'm on the left lane, and then I can come off. So now I can think about overtaking this lorry. I don't want to get too close to him in the first place. I'm going to check my mirrors and signal. There's a guy behind me already overtaking me, so I'm not going to go right now. But once I can check again, I can see it's clear. Go around him, making sure I don't break the speed limit. I know it's 60 here, but I can see a sign further down that it's 70. And then once I can see the lorry in my rear view mirror, my center mirror, I can check my mirrors and signal. Then I can go back now. So traffic jamming up ahead is quite far away, but I'm going to brake from early. That's the mistake a lot of learners make when they first start driving. They brake too late at high speeds. So at high speeds you want to brake much earlier than usual to bring your speed down really early on. Then I can go straight to 1. I went to 2 because I thought the traffic was moving at a good pace, but it wasn't. So my clutch was still down, then I went into 1. So some people might say, oh, that's coasting. Don't worry about that too much. I wasn't out of control. It was still under control. Didn't have to bring my clutch up again because that would have made the car jerk a bit. So I just kept it down and then went into first. And that's perfectly fine to do that. Okay, so you see here it's got the first sign is telling us that the M1, which is where we're trying to go to, is straight second exit, which normally would be the left lane. But then the second sign is telling us that the left lane is only for Cambridge and Bedford, and we need to go in the right for the M1. So for that reason, I'm going to check my mirrors signal right, and I can see a big space behind this car here. Then I can go into it. Once I'm in the lane, cancel my signal. So yeah, you want to be looking at all the signs as you go past, because one sign might tell you one thing and then the next one will give you a bit more information about what lane you need to be in. So in this kind of traffic situation, you want to keep your feet near the clutch because you will need it to stop the car. So if you have your foot all the way to the left, you might forget to use it. So here I'm going to do a little hill start without handbrake. So I'm just going to go straight to the gas and bring the clutch up like that, just at the biting point. Then I'm holding it still and then I'll bring it up. Yeah, so that's how you do it without the handbrake. Yeah, on a really steep hill it's hard to do like that, so you're better off using handbrake, or if your car's got hill assist, then obviously use that. On some hills like this one, even though this car's got hill assist, it's not going to work because it's not steep enough, but it's still steep enough for the car to roll back, in which case I can either get the clutch quickly and get to the biting point, or I could use the handbrake and get the biting point first, and then once I'm happy to go, handbrake down like that, so that way you don't roll back. You've got different options. So I'm going to try the one with just the clutch and the gas. So clutch to the biting point and gas on straight away, and then hold it still and then bringing it back up.